Hi everyone, welcome to Bond Bytes Daily Bond Market Highlights from INRBonds. I'm Arjun Patsarthi. The markets take India's GDP growth in their stride. India economy grows 20.1% in the first quarter of this financial year. The 10-year gsec yield falls even as the Sensex and rupee stabilizes after a hectic uptrend over the last few days. The today's topic is on microfinance bonds. Microfinance lenders have been in the focus for the last 10 to 12 years since the time they came on as a new investment vehicle to lend to the unbanked sections of the society. However, in the last 10 years or 12 years, we can say, we have seen three events that have really hurt these lenders. The first was political events, which saw the first set of microfinance companies going through huge amounts of stress as governments just wrote off the loans these lenders had given to the poorer sections of the society or to the in the rural and other areas. The second event was obviously demonetization, and that has also hurt the lenders, and most of the loans were turned sour at that point of time. And the third event is a COVID, and we have seen many microfinance lenders again facing issues of bad loans in a COVID hit economy. And we do see a lot of microfinance companies' bonds that are being offered to retail investors. So we thought we would highlight the risk of these bonds to investors who are not very savvy of the risk of these lendings. Microfinance companies by nature lend unsecured loans. The cost of lending is very high, largely because they have to employ a huge number of feet on street, as in to reach the sections of the population. It could be in interior India, or it could be in weaker areas, economic areas of the country. And they have a very close model where each it's a group of they call it self-help groups, are being managed by a few people work employed by the microfinance companies, and they work very closely with them. So that involves a lot of cost, and that can take up the cost of loans as well. So typically, if you can, for example, if you go to a shop and buy an electrical item and take a loan on EMI or anything like that, maybe your cost could be in a range of, say, anything between, depending on the company, between 12 to 13% or slightly lower or higher. But in microfinance, the cost of lending, as in or the borrowing or the lend interest rate, it can go as well over 20%. So this also adds to the stress of the capacity to repay by the borrowers. Having said this, the cost cannot be brought down because the nature of lending is such that it has a lot of intensive field force that needs to work very closely with the sections of the society. So, should microfinance actually be more of a social lending? That's very difficult to say because they have also done they've also been microfinance lenders have been instrumental in taking funds to a large population of the country that has been unbanked and also have and maybe has helped their economy as well to grow. But having said that, they have also seen three events in the last 12 years, maybe more to come. We don't know. And so every time they have gone through a boom, they have also seen a bust, and also the fact that many of them are funded by capitalists who are looking for return on their investments, then the stress to grow is also very high for these companies. And they may be lending to places or to groups where maybe the capacity to repay is not very high. Uh, there could be some kind of a selling of loans as well, given that there is the stress to grow as investors demand. higher growth and valuations for these companies. So microfinance bonds in the market offer higher yields than most of the other uh, NBFC lenders, given the nature of the lending and the costs involved. And should only institutional investors be investing in these bonds, or should retail also invest? Unless you are aware of the risks, you should not look to invest in such bonds. And obviously, a platform like INR Bonds provides all the information that you need to invest in higher risk bonds like microfinance bonds. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit INR Bonds for the best bonds to buy with the best information available in the marketplace on the bonds at the right price and the right bond for you to invest in. Thank you very much for listening in.